Welcome to Sports Talk. I'm Mike Bruck, filling in for Johnny B today. With us are the basketball coaches for McKinney High School. We have Wes Watson and Deb Harris. It's good to have them here. Great to have you guys here. Welcome.
Thanks.
It's great to be here.
Let's do a quick recap of last year, how it ended and what impact, if any, that it has on this year's team. Now, last year you didn't make the playoffs, but that was a brutal district in 5A at the time, which is now 6A. How did that shape your efforts for this year?
Well, for us, I mean, it was tough, and our final game of the year was at Plano East, and we didn't shoot it real well that night. Maybe the worst we've ever shot it in a half during the first half of that game, but finished it up real strong. Showed a lot of character, but it was a tough night. It was a tough season, like you said, but we used it to motivate us to hopefully improve and be ready for this year.
Now, Deb, you ended last season with a playoff loss to Skyline. Obviously, a tough first-round opponent to have to take on, but did that have any impact on your preparation for this year's team?
Well, I think more than anything, just the expectation that our expectation is to get to playoffs every year, and we were led by a veteran group of seniors the last 2 years. So, I think it's just set the bar, and we're starting all over this year.
So what have you been focusing on this year, Wes? When school started, you got the kids together and practiced during school, and then now you're getting to practice after school and having games. What was your focus?
Well, usually our focus early in the year, is defense. We want to, continue to work in the weight room to get stronger, build our base conditioning level, and work on our skill level. I mean, what we run offensively is not real difficult from a schematic standpoint, but it does require the kids to be pretty skilled in order to run it. So we spend a lot of time doing skill work during the period. After school, we have performance course come in and work with our athletes, and that kind of gets them ready for the conditioning level that they need to have, because we play really fast and they have to be in really good shape to play the way we want to play.
Now, Deb, you mentioned you've got a really young team this year, really young team.
We do.
I mean, how did you spend your practice time before? I mean, was it just, hi, my name is? I mean, was it a lot of that or just the basics?
It's definitely back to the basics, but for us it's more, making sure that our young kids understand our system and what McKinney High basketball is about, and everything is team-oriented. And I think we have a good balance between our youth and then our veteran leadership with our seniors. So that's been an interesting piece of the puzzle, and it's a daily learning experience. So we don't take anything for granted, and it's reteach, reteach, reteach. Now,
Wes, you're sitting at 6-6 right now, not starting district play yet, but who's really stood out for you? Who's contributed the most from where you are now?
It's been a collective effort with us. I mean, I hate to single out any particular individual. With the way we play, a lot of guys are going to touch it. We run a dribble drive motion offense, and all of them have to be able to handle the ball. All of them have to, it helps when they can shoot the ball. We want them all to play, on the defensive end. We want them to all play with max effort. When that's happened, collectively, we've been really good. When we've had some breakdowns, it hasn't looked so good. And we've been really up and down to this point in the year. There's been some games where we've looked outstanding, some moments where we've looked outstanding, and then some moments where we just haven't paid attention to detail. And those things need to get shorn up in practice. And we're coming off a period where we played a lot of games and haven't had a chance to practice a whole lot. So this week's really important for us to get some things fixed in practice, to where we're not continuing to make some of the same mistakes going forward.
Now, Deb, you're sitting at 8-4, including a victory over one of the crosstown teams so far, but they got you back in the tournament. But still, are you happy with where you are? I never ask that to a coach. Coach is never happy. But are you seeing the kind of development that you want to see?
It varies. I mean, I think for us, again, it's just a learning experience and understanding what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are. I think that we've got, a lot of talent in the 5 new players that we have on our team, 3 of which are freshmen. And you add that with the leadership of our seniors, and I think for us, it's just finding our identity. And, sometimes I feel like we've taken 5 steps forward, and sometimes we've taken 10 steps back. But the consistency is getting better, and, come January, I'm hoping that we're going to be playing our best basketball.
Was there a game, or 2 games, one really on each end, was there a game that stands out where you thought, oh, they're getting it, and then a game where, I don't know if they'll ever get it.
Well, I think for us, the Collin County tournament was probably our worst experience, both of those games, and it was just. But for us, it was a learning, adventure, and for us to understand we cannot compete at this level if we play like this. So I think we've rounded the corner since then. Probably our best game, I would say, against Richardson High School. They're a very talented team. They've got several D1 kids. And we competed very well in that game. So I think we have the potential, we have the talent, we have the leadership. It's just, we lack the experience. And there's nothing that you can do as a coach except to take them through that. So
you just got to play.
It's just a process.
Now, Wes, what about you? Have you had any games that just stand out in your mind, the games where the team really did collectively put it all together, and then a game where it gave you teaching opportunities?
We've had a lot of teaching opportunities, that's for sure. I think the Marcus game and the Prosper tournament was probably our most complete game of the year. They're a really good team. We were coming off a loss the night before where we blew a 16-point lead late in the third quarter and just did a lot of things wrong to contribute to that loss. And the Marcus game, even though we had a really rough second quarter, we handled some adversity. We handled them switching some defenses on us and really played our most complete game. We played really good in stretches this past weekend over in Keller. The first game of the tournament, we got in a hole early against Fort Worth Paschal, played extremely well for the last 3 quarters. Our last game over there against Keller Central was a glimpse of how good we should be. I mean, we played with purpose, we played with great effort, and we played our style for 32 minutes. And that hasn't happened every game this year. When it does happen, we look really good. When it doesn't, we don't get the results we want.
Now, you're not an overly tall team, I think is what we would say, but where are you relying for the scoring? I mean, we know you have E.J. Clark, returning player who was a freshman last year. He was phenomenal until he got injured, and now you've got Alex Villarino contributing.
Correct. And both of those kids are extremely talented. And we've got some other guards that are really good too. We just got Preston Smith back. Marcus Cross is he's a kid that just gives us tremendous energy. You always know what you're going to get with Marcus. Marcus is going to play hard every single game, every single second he's in the game. He gives us a little bit of scoring, and we've got some guys on the bench that have stepped up for us as well. But we're a team that I feel like we're capable of scoring a lot of points. Our big challenge is being better on the defensive end, being willing to do some little things that help teams win basketball games, draw charges, dive on the floor for loose basketballs, making sure we understand our block-out assignments. And if we shore those things up, we'll be really good. And if we don't, it's going to be, we're 6-6 right now. It'll continue to be like that if we continue to be inconsistent.
But district play hadn't started yet, so there's still hope they're going to get.
We're excited. I mean, like I say, we have improved a lot. I don't want you to misunderstand me. We've improved a lot since the first game of the year, but we're far from a finished product. And I'm excited. I'm very excited about what I think we will grow into as the season continues to progress.
Now, Deb, tell us something about the seniors who are leading you this year. Who are they?
We've got Chrissy Fontias, who's been a 4-year varsity letterman for us. She was, kind of thrown into the fire as a freshman because we just graduated our point guard. And Emily Olson, and this is her 3rd year to play on the varsity. And we've got Mariah Bautista, and then we've got Jerice Armour Gardner, whose brother also plays in the boys program, so that's kind of cool. But the senior leadership has been really a blessing for us.
Somebody's got to just guide the freshmen along.
It is a constant battle. It is a constant battle, and it's exhausting at times in a good way. I mean, they're great kids. They're little sponges, but the fact that they're 14 and 15 years old is something that is. I have to. We graduated 7 seniors.
Right.
It's been a long time since I've been through this amount of youth.
And you're saying you're putting these 14, 15-year-olds against 18-year-olds and a couple of 19-year-olds. That's tough to do. I mean, just physically that's tough to do, but also mentally, emotionally, you've got to have them be able to compete every night.
It is, and if you look at our stats, our leaders on our team are going to be our younger kids, but there's no question that they wouldn't be able to accomplish those things without the support and the leadership of our seniors, and that is a very important piece of the puzzle. And our freshmen have a lot of respect for our upperclassmen, and they do a great job of making sure they understand how to work and what it means to be a part of the McKinney High women's basketball program. So the balance has been great. You know, from a talent standpoint, I'm very excited. I think that eventually we're going to be a very competitive team, and you know, the thing I'm most proud of is just the quality of people that we've got on our team.
Now, you have a game this Friday, is that correct? Friday night against whom and where?
We have a game Friday against Denison. We actually open district tomorrow against Wiley, at Wiley.
So Tuesday night, the 16th of December, your opening district play at Wiley.
Correct.
Against Wiley.
Correct.
And then Friday, the first home game of district against Denison.
That is correct.
And both games 7:30 tip-offs?
They are.
All right, we'll come back to you, Wes. What do you got going on this week?
We got a week full of practice, which we need. And then on Saturday, we will host Naaman Forest. Varsity will tip off at 1 o'clock. And then, you know, we'll play in the Allen tournament over Christmas, well, the 29th, 30th, and 31st. And then our first district game is at Sherman. And we'll be joining the girls in Sherman on Friday, January the 2nd. So we've got some time here to get some practices in. We've got some, you know, some opportunities to play against some really good competition as we head into district. And, you know, we hope that, like Coach said earlier, when January rolls around, we're going to be playing our best basketball.
All right, now, Deb, when you're looking at your district, you got to look at McKinney North. They were finalists in the state tournament last year, didn't win, lost to Canyon, but you're looking at them. Who are the other teams that you're looking for?
Well, really and truly, I mean, I think obviously McKinney North is, you know, head and shoulders above everybody else as far as the amount of talent that they have. And I think everybody else is going to be pretty even. I think it's going to be a dogfight for second through fourth.
And a quick district preview for you. Who's at the top?
Wow. You know, I see us being one of the teams battling for the top spot. I see McKinney North being up there. I see Prosper being. I've seen Prosper a few times. They're really good. You know, we haven't seen the two Wileys yet in person, but I think they're going to be really good as well, both of them. And you know, Lovejoy, they're going to be one of the better coach teams around. Coach Harriman does a terrific job. And then Sherman and Denison I think are going to be improved over last year too. So it's going to be, you know, as Coach said, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a battle. I don't know that we have that one dominant team. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. But there's a lot of teams capable of beating other teams on any given night. It'll be a lot of fun. All
right, we're going to check back in with you later in the season, and hopefully it's 2 playoff runs for McKinney High School. That's Deb Harris and Wes Watson for McKinney High School basketball.